And welcome to another Mark Bishop Show, folks. As Memorial Day approaches, please take some time to remember the men and women who have made the supreme sacrifice to safeguard our freedom. The American Legion is the nation's largest veteran service organization, with nearly 2 million members and over 12,000 posts worldwide, with Legionnaires involved in community-based support for service members and their families. Always a pleasure to have on my show is Paul Dillard. He's the National Commander of the American Legion. Welcome, Commander.
Yeah, Mark. Thank you for having us. And like to say hello to all my friends out there in Arizona.
Commander Dillard, tell me about the Honoring of Our PACT Act and where it stands now.
Yes, sir. Honoring Our PACT Act. That's the number one topic in our whole approach. Everything we talk about right now as I've traveled from Georgia to Alaska, asking everyone to talk to their senators, their two senators, for support of this. And what it is, it's a comprehensive legislation for toxic exposure. It covers our Gulf War veterans, our war on terrorism, for open burn pits, the toxic exposure they was exposed to. We're having many men and women today that's needing the health care for that. They've got lung disease, they've got cancers, and we do not need another 40 some odd years of Agent Orange waiting and waiting and waiting. So these men and women need that today so that we can give them the health care they need. They served our country, and it is a cost of war. And so therefore we've got to do it. How do you tell parents, children, they're no longer with us because of cost? You know, who do you want to exclude? Do you want to exclude the Gulf War veterans, the burn pit veterans, you know, the atomic exposure veterans? Who do you want to expose to exclude? The ones with stage 4 cancer? So we need this passed. It's in the Senate now, and I ask everyone, especially Georgia, to call your senators, your two senators, and ask them to support and pass this very important legislation for our veterans.
So let me ask you this. Why do you believe Memorial Day is the opportune time to enact the Honoring Our PACT Act into law, Commander?
Well, it would have been great to have done it 2 months ago, you know, but now, even around Memorial Day, you know, it seems like a very opportune time due to the fact of our fallen soldiers that we're really honoring, that's no longer with us. And I know they would be very proud to see America taking care of those veterans that need health care.
So what distinguishes Memorial Day from other important days, Commander, such as Armed Forces Day and Veterans Day?
Memorial Day it's a remembrance of the fallen, those that are no longer with us anymore, that served this country and gave their life. Veterans Day is to honor all veterans that serve in this great nation. You know, but getting back to Memorial Day, you know, it's observed, really, not celebrated, but we do celebrate the lives of those heroes, you know. But it's not inappropriate to have barbecues or things over the weekend, because a lot of those guys and gals, they enjoy barbecues too.
Commander Dillard, how can Americans show their support for veterans?
Well, number one, right now, they can call their two senators and ask them to support and pass this very, very important bill for our veterans. And, you know, America, for the most part, has really turned around in the last several years and thanking people for their service. And, you know, when a person tells me that, I couldn't use the word, "you're welcome." I use the word, "you're worth it." I've actually had people shed a tear. I've had people say, "Why do you say that?" I said, "Because you're American."
So who can join the American Legion? And what are some of the things that Legionnaires do?
Okay. As far as eligibility in the American Legion, almost anyone who served since December 7th, 1941 could be eligible to join. And even those that maybe cannot, they could join either one of our other family members, the American Legion Auxiliary, or the Sons of the American Legion. Hey, we do many things. On the national front is different than the department. We call department states because we have overseas departments, and post level. National we follow our 4 pillars of the American Legion, and kind of advocate for our veterans benefits, children and youth. National defense. We feel like, if you're going to send our guys and gals in harm's way, they got the best of the best. And after they serve, it's very important to take care of those veterans who took care of us. They keep us safe here while they're over there. And that's very important. But, at the local level, they get involved in many things. We have the next generation veterans coming in. They love to do activities such as maybe 5Ks. We just had a 4-person team go up to Boston and run a 26.2 ruck. Not me, but there was 4 that went up there. And this is what they like to do. They're very active. They're very family. And so we want to get the family in there and let them enjoy it, and come up to an all-American post. Well, if you go to legion.org, you can look up our legislative. We have 10 or 12 each year, and of course the PACT Act is the burn pits and all is very, very high on our list. And of course we do have some others like we're really pushing for more friendly VA health care for women veterans. Today about 11% of veterans are women. In 20 years, we expect that to be 20%, which would be 2.2 million. And we want to specialty clinics, which I visited one yesterday in Marion, Illinois. And we're coming around pretty good on it. And I think now it puts specialty clinics for mammograms and child care, maternity, and what have you. But we've got to communicate to our women veterans, too, that this is a changing. And it is going to be more of what we'd call more maybe women friendly. So we're really pushing some issues in our women veterans rights, and we're pushing immigration, special immigration visas. We can't forget our allies, especially the brave interpreters who served alongside our troops. Many have been targeted or killed, by the Taliban, and their families are also targeted. And they've already undergone security screening. We need to assist as many as we can and expedite these applications, including those from Iraq, as we wind down our mission there. And even our military immigrants that we promised them a pathway to U.S. citizenship for honorable service to this country, which we have already gave over the many years, about 720,000, but we have 24,000 or so now, and it's getting very difficult for them to do that. They don't have them available on base much anymore. And this is something we promised the United States, so we've got to do that. And we also are supporting border security, which is very important, I think, because of things that can come across and stuff like that can affect us here in the United States. So we do support border security. World War II Means Exemption Act for VA health care for our World War II veterans, where we had 16 million of them come back. Today we've got about 230,000 maybe, losing about 300 a day. And in a year or so, we'd be lucky if we have 100,000. And we would waive the means test for them to get VA health care, whether it be Category 5 or 6. So, that's very important. We did it in 1996 for Spanish American and also our World War II veterans or World War I veterans. And it's time to do it now. And also, we oppose any illegal form of immigration. There's a legal way to do it, and that's the way it should be done.
Always a pleasure, Commander. Thank you so much. Don't forget, folks, for more information, you can always visit this particular website. Have a look, get a pen, study up. Marvelous site, lots of information on it. www.legion.org. That's Legion, all right? So www.legion.org. pact.org.
Mark, I'd like to thank you for having us today, and y'all have a great time.